May 7th, 2017, Carlisle, Ohio. 18-year-old varsity cheerleader Brooke Skylar Richardson gave birth at home and buried her newborn daughter in the backyard of her parents' house. 2 months later, she described what had happened to her doctor, who informed police. Richardson was ultimately charged with aggravated murder, child endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, and abuse of a corpse. Today, we look back into this case and deep dive into the investigation, the testimony, and the verdict. Ultimately, we ask the question, was justice served in this case? Today, we find out together. This is BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded Throwback, Ohio versus Richardson. And it begins right now. And a good Sunday late afternoon on the West Coast, early Sunday evening on the East Coast. Welcome to the 7th installment of BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded Throwback, Ohio versus Richardson. I'm Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw. So good to have you here. And to recap thus far, we've heard from Brooke Skylar Richardson's ex-boyfriend at the start of testimony. We've heard from the ex-boyfriend is also the father of the baby, dead Annabelle. We've also heard from members of Hilltop OBGYN. We've heard from law enforcement officials, including Deputy Kelly McKay, Deputy Sarah Vaught, Sergeant John Smith, Coroner Russell Updegrove, and Dr. Amy Dallaire, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. We've had two instances of testimony from Lieutenant John Fain. We've heard from forensic pathologist Dr. Susan Brown. We've also heard from Dr. Krista Latham and Dr. William Kim Brady. Now, we are about to hear from Brooke Skylar Richardson's current boyfriend, Brandon Saylor. Let's go into the courtroom. Let's see what he'll have to say.
You're going to have to speak up so that they can hear you, okay? Can you please state your full name for the record, spelling your last?
Brandon Saylor, Saylor.
And Brandon, as we sit here today, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay.
Ms. Kraft, I apologize for interrupting your... I had a note here. Is this one of the witnesses that elected not to be photographed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? All right, so this is one of our witnesses who elect not to be photographed. If we could please adjust ourselves accordingly. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Are you attending college now?
Yes.
And where are you going to school at?
I go to Miami University of Middletown.
I'm sorry?
Of Middletown.
Okay. in your sophomore year?
Correct.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to Carlisle High School.
While you were at Carlisle High School, did you become familiar with an individual by the name of Brooke Skylar Richardson?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you actually know her by the name Skylar?
Correct, yeah.
At some point, did you and Skylar start dating?
Yes.
And do you recall approximately when that was?
January 30th of 2017.
Okay. Are you nervous, Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're talking really, really quiet, okay? And I want to make sure
Okay.
Ms. Kilgore can hear you, and I want to make sure the jury can hear you,
Mr.
okay?
Sherry, if you move forward and speak into the red light, that will help you a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Brandon. So I think you just said you started dating January 30th of 2017?
Correct.
Okay. Did you know her for a period of time before you started dating her?
Roughly a month, yeah.
And when you and her started dating, what year were you in school?
I was a junior.
She was a senior,
Correct.
so she was a year ahead of you?
Correct.
Okay. And you said that you knew her approximately a month before you started dating?
Give or take, yeah.
Okay. You guys started getting pretty serious after you started dating?
Yes.
Okay. And did you spend a lot of time together?
Yes.
How much time do you think you would spend in any given week?
I don't know, probably 5-6 days.
Okay. By spring break of that year, did you guys have an opportunity to spend some time together over spring break?
Yes.
Can you please explain how that came about?
So for high school, we went to Fort Walton Beach for a baseball tournament, and Mrs. Richardson went to Destin on a family vacation.
Okay. So when you say we went, who is we?
Me and my family.
Okay. So your family was on spring break in one location, and Miss Richardson was on spring break at another location?
Correct.
Were they in close proximity to each other, though?
Yes.
Okay. And during the course of that spring break, did you guys make arrangements to meet up several times during that spring break?
Yes.
Brandon, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 134A for purposes of identification. Is that a picture of you and Miss Richardson when you were on spring break that year?
Yes.
How serious were you two, Brandon?
I would say pretty serious.
Pretty serious. Recognizing you were a senior, or junior, I'm sorry, and she was a senior, for you, did it seem like a pretty significant relationship?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. When you guys weren't together, did you spend a lot of time texting?
Yes.
And that's the thing kids do these days, right? There's
Right.
a lot of texting going on.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 54 for purposes of identification. Is that your cell phone that you had in 2017?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And was that phone taken from you as part of the investigation for this case?
Yes.
Prior to that phone being taken from you, was that a phone that you would have used to text Ms. Richardson from?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you if you recall if the phone number for that phone was 513-267-2038.
Yes.
Before this investigation started, were you aware whether or not Ms. Richardson also had her own personal cell phone?
Yes, she did.
She did. Okay, and do you recall if the phone number for that phone was 1-937-405-9484?
Yeah.
If you don't recall phone numbers, that's fine.
I don't recall if that's the exact phone number, no.
Okay. Did you learn at some point during the investigation her personal cell phone was taken from her?
Yes.
And at that point in time, was it your understanding that she switched over to using her mom's personal cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. So would it be fair to say then that during the year 2017, she texted you from 2 different devices?
Correct, yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 124, Brandon. In your phone, there is a contact for Kim Richardson, and you can probably see that on the screen right there too. It might be easier to see. And there's a phone number listed of 937-266-1796 that was input July 15th of 2017. Would that be the phone, best you can remember, that she switched over to?
Yes.
And below that, there's another contact for Skylar with a heart that was put in January 14th of 2017. And the phone number is 1-937-405-9484. Would that have been her personal phone that she started texting you from when the relationship started up until it was taken away?
Yes.
It also indicates next to her contact that there's a photo attached. Did you have, and help me, on your phone, if you were to call Skylar or look her up to call her or text her, would you have an image that was associated with her name as well?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 125 for purposes of identification. Was that the picture that was associated with her name in your contacts?
Yeah.
Now, Brandon, when you and Miss Richardson started dating in January of 2017, did you know at that time that she was pregnant?
No.
Did you have any idea at all?
No.
When did you first find out?
When everyone else found out.
During the investigation?
Correct.
Backing up a little bit, after spring break, you guys get back from spring break, is the relationship still going pretty strong?
Yes.
Do you end up taking her to her senior prom?
Yes.
I know how you just answered the question, but I want to make sure. Did you have any idea at prom that Miss Richardson was pregnant?
No.
You now know that she gave birth to a baby that week, correct?
Yes.
Brandon, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 134B for purposes of identification. Is that a picture of you and Miss Richardson from spring break?
No.
I'm sorry, from prom?
Yes.
Okay, and that was her senior prom?
Yes.
And that occurred on May 5th of 2017?
Yes.
You said that at the time you did not know she was pregnant, correct?
Correct.
Since this case has come about, have you had an opportunity to look at these pictures again?
Yes.
Hindsight's 20/20, correct?
Yeah.
When you look at these pictures now, does she appear pregnant to you?
I mean, I would say so.
When you guys were at prom that evening, did she give you any indication that she wasn't feeling good?
Yes.
What did she tell you?
She said that she was having bad cramps.
Okay. When she told you that she was having bad cramps, what did you think those cramps were from?
A period.
Okay. Did she tell you they were from a period?
Yes.
Did she give you any reason to believe that they were anything other than cramps from a period?
No.
When she told you that she wasn't feeling well and that she was having cramps, did you in fact try to comfort her in some way?
Yes.
How so?
Rubbing her back, holding her hand.
And again, through all of that, it was your understanding that those were period cramps?
Correct.
And she gave you no reason to believe that anything else was occurring at that time?
Correct.
After you guys got home from prom that night, did you start texting?
Yes.
I want to go through some of the texts that occurred with you and the defendant over that weekend, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to start with the evening of prom, and I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 126 for purposes of identification. And we're just going to go through these sections at a time, okay?
Okay.
And you would agree that these start out, make sure we get all of that in there, May 6th of 2017 at 12:49:45 a.m.
I only see 1250.
Is it not up there? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now okay. And I'm going to ask you a question, Brandon, and this is in no way intended to embarrass you. There is a reference on the party that these are between Skylar, the heart that we previously saw in your contacts, correct?
Yep.
And Big Dick Willie.
Correct.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that a joke?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Just kid being a kid. Thought it'd never happen. Never come up.
Were you playing a game with Siri? Is
Yeah.
that how that
Yeah.
name came to be?
Yeah.
Okay. But that was just you being a teenager. You were 17 at the time, correct?
16.
16.
Yeah.
And so these texts start out that evening. You start the text and said, I hate, but I think maybe you were meaning to say have.
Had.
I had, okay, a ton of fun. You didn't look like you did. And then there's an emoji. Is that you starting out that conversation?
Yes.
And then Skylar responds to you, the only time I wasn't having fun was when I started cramping super bad. And I'm sorry, babe, I promise you made it extremely fun. Was that in fact happening at prom that night?
Yeah.
And is that the cramping that you were referring to?
Yes.
And you responded back to her, okay, babe, I'm sorry you started this week. And is that you, again, believing what she told you that she had her period?
Correct.
And then she responds back to you, it's not your fault, it was just a horrible thing, but you made up for it. You responded, good, I wish I could have used magic and helped you or cured you. And she says, you practically did cure me by being so understanding and letting me squeeze your hands. And you had indicated that you were trying to comfort her
Yes.
by rubbing her back and holding her hand.
Yeah.
And is that what you're referring to in that text?
Yes.
She then responds back to you and says, post some of our prom pictures on Twitter. Had you taken some pictures that night?
We had, yeah.
Okay. And is that what that text is referring to, the pictures that had been taken the evening of prom?
Yes.
And Skylar responds back, those were like, and then there's a blank. And she comes back and says, all the worst pictures of me. I'm embarrassed. And you tell her, no, not true.
Yeah.
Were you trying to make her feel good about how she looked that night?
Yes.
And then you said back to her, then send me what I can use. And she says, I look terrible in all of them. Was that the conversation that occurred after prom?
Yes.
Anywhere during those texts or that evening, did she give you any indication that she was having anything other than menstrual cramps?
No.
We're now, and we can tell from these texts, into the early morning hours of May 6th, 2017, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That morning, Did you check on her to see if she was feeling any better?
Yeah.
And do you recall sending her a text that morning to check on her and see if she was feeling better?
I don't recall, no, but I'm sure that it's up there.
Okay. Did you think, and you indicated, let me go back to the very first text. Based on how she was acting that night, were you concerned that she had not had fun at prom with you?
Yes.
Okay. And the first text you send later that day is at 11:03. You sure you still like me? Why did you send that, Brandon?
I guess just reassurance. I just needed some reassurance.
Okay. And she didn't respond back right away, correct?
Yeah,
So that still leaves you with a little bit of doubt about what's happening at this point?
sure.
Ms. Kraft, I don't want to interfere with your evidence presentation, but I think it's difficult for folks to see on the screen. And if it's maybe not important that we get maybe the first or the second column, you might be able to zoom in a little bit, and we might be able to see what's better.
Thought I had seen on all of it, Your Honor.
It just appears from the squinting that nobody can really see what's on the screen.
It's not going to because of the base of the lamp. Allow me to take it over so you can see the text. That's as big as I can get it here. With you. I can't because it's not going to slide.
Mr. Mullins, does it flip 90 degrees? Does it flip 90 degrees?
It's up to you. We're going to try moving them a little bit easier so that you can see them and the jury can see them better, okay? Okay. So the next morning, you sent her a text at 11:03 and say, "You sure you still like me?" And you said that was because you were a little bit concerned about how the evening had gone?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't hear back from her right away, and then at 12:29:33, that same morning, you get a text from her that says, "I'm so sorry for not replying. I was having horrible cramps, so I've been laying on my couch with a heating pad this whole time. I'm sorry. I love you always." Do you recall getting that text from her?
Yes.
And at that point in time, she's still leading you to believe she's having cramps as a result of her period.
Correct.
Has she given you any other information through any form of communication other than these texts that something else might be going on?
No.
And it looks like you responded back to her right after you received that text. "It's okay. I thought you were asleep. We don't have to go to the game. It's going to be miserable for you." She says, hush. We are going. This is your birthday present. We are going and we will have fun regardless of how I feel. What is that about, the game?
She was taking me to a Reds game for a birthday present.
Okay. And you were trying to tell her, we don't have to go if you don't want to?
Correct.
Okay. Did you guys go to a Cincinnati Reds game
We
that
did.
weekend? Who all went?
Me, I think Skylar, her mom, and her dad.
Okay. And do you recall, was it an afternoon game, an evening game?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like a 4 o'clock start.
Okay. Before you guys leave for the game at 1:29, you send her another text, Brandon, and you say, I'm honestly super scared about college. And she responds back, do you mean like when I go or when you go? And you said, when you go.
Correct.
Were you still feeling a little bit uncertain about how prom had gone?
No, that was just normal, me needing reassurance.
You needing reassurance from her?
Yeah.
Okay. And she went on to say at 1:32, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be, babe. You are the only one I love, and I couldn't meet a million people there. And I could meet a million people there, but they'd still never be you or never come close to comparing you to you. You responded, I'm just scared you'll forget about me or forget what I can do or forget how I treat you and want someone who's closer to you. And then she responds, absolutely not. I don't think you understand. I literally cannot just forget about you or the way you make me feel, like it's impossible to forget someone who changed my life and made it so much better. That had to have made you feel good to hear that, correct?
Yeah.
And was that some of the reassurance that you were looking for?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you say, okay, good, babe. I love you and I need you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And Skylar says in response at 1:44, good, because I love you and can't possibly be without you and I can't wait to see our future. You then respond, good, babe, I literally need you. And she says, well, I'm not going anywhere ever. So when you said earlier that you guys were pretty serious, recognizing your ages at the time, did you think that this relationship was going to go well into the future for both of you?
Yeah.
What did you hope would come of this relationship?
Long life.
And is that something you and her both talked about?
I don't think that we talked about it, no.
Did you think that she felt the same way?
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that series of text messages, you two go to the Cincinnati Reds game, correct?
Correct.
Does she, at that point in time, tell you what's going on?
No.
Does she give you any indication that she's having cramps from something other than her period?
No.
You're still left to believe that that's what that weekend was about?
Yes.
Everybody ends up going home that evening after the game. You go back to your house. She goes home with her parents?
Yeah.
Okay. After you guys got home from the game and she goes to her house and she goes to bed, do you know what, if anything, happens that evening, Brandon?
I do not.
Do you at that time have any idea what happens into the early morning hours of May 7th?
No.
At that time, did you have any knowledge that she gave birth to her daughter that night?
No.
At that time, did you have any knowledge that she buried her daughter in the backyard?
No.
The next time you hear from her is May 7th, is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's later on in the morning, early morning?
I believe so.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to May 7th at 10:54 a.m. And would you agree that's you saying, good morning, beautiful babe?
Yes.
And she responds back, good morning, my amazing boy.
Yeah.
When she responded back, good morning, my amazing boy, at 10:42 a.m., did you know that she had just buried a baby several hours prior?
No.
Did she give you any indication that she had done anything like that during the early morning hours of that day?
No.
Later on that morning, you get more text from her, correct?
Yes.
At 11:45 on that same date, do you recall getting this text? I'll tell you all about it later. But last night, well, actually, let me go back one. You asked her how she was feeling. How do you feel, babe? That's you, correct?
Yes.
Because as far as you know, she still has her period and she still has bad cramps from her period.
Yes.
And her response to you at 11:45:11 on May 7th is, "I'll tell you all about it later, but last night was just like the worst ever, and I didn't go to sleep till 5:30. But I feel so much better this morning. I'm happy." Did you have any idea at that time what she was referring to when she said it was the worst night ever?
No.
Did you have any idea what she was referring?
You may.
Brandon, when she told you, "I feel so much better this morning, I'm happy," did you know what that was in reference to?
No.
Your response was, "Good, babe, I hate that you went through that without me." And she says, "It's okay, I'm just so glad it's over now." Do you recall getting that text?
Yes.
You responded in turn, "Me too, babe, I'm so glad you're done feeling bad." And she said, "So am I. I hope I never feel like that ever again. That was traumatic." And your response to that group then was, "I know, babe, I'm so sorry you had..." "I know, babe, I'm so sorry you had to go through that, babe." And again, you believe that was just her having a bad period.
Correct.
Later on that day, directing your attention to 1:30:24 p.m., she sends you a text and says, "I'm about to get off and then work out for a bit and then go home and get ready. My family is going to eat probably like 3:45-ish if you would like to come over and then we can hang out." Did you have any reason to question why she was going to work out that day?
No.
Okay. But you knew that she had gone, or at least at 1:30, she was sending you a text that she was on her way to start working out.
Yeah.
Did you end up spending some time together that evening after she worked out?
I don't remember. I believe so.
You believe so? And was there any discussion about how she was feeling when you were with her that evening?
I can't recall.
Okay. Do you recall after spending time that evening, you guys started texting again?
Yeah.
And as you've indicated, if you guys weren't together, you were texting a lot,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. At 9:12:36, you received a text from her and it says, "I love you so much." And you responded, "I will never stop loving you ever." She says, "I hope not, babe, because you're the only one for me." And you said, "You really are my true love." And she says, "I truly believe that too." At that time, and I think you've already indicated this, but you thought you guys were pretty serious.
Yeah.
You said that 2 days prior at prom, you were kind of questioning and needing some reassurance, but does she seem, by this time now, that kind of her mood has switched over and she's in a better mood?
I would say so.
Okay. You told her at 9:16, "I seriously want to live forever with you." She says, "Me too, babe. That's the plan." You said, "It better be. I want you to have everything." And she says, "You are absolutely everything I need." And your response to that was, "Good, babe. You're ever I need." And she then says, "You plus my family plus my dogs equals the perfect life. Heart, 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 heart." And your response was, "Couldn't agree more, babe." Do you recall engaging in that line of text with her?
Yeah.
And those texts occurred at 9:12 the evening of May 7th.
Correct.
Okay. Brandon, you now know that that was the weekend, the early morning hours into the day that she gave birth to her daughter, correct?
Correct.
And I think you told the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that you didn't find out that that was what had happened that weekend until everybody else did.
Correct.
And by everybody else, you were referring to the investigation that started on July 14th of 2017.
Correct.
How did you first find out what was happening?
We were hanging out and she received a phone call from her dad that she needed to get home, I believe. And then I believe I turned on the news, or somehow my mom came and got me, and we went home and turned on the news, and I was receiving phone calls and pictures and stuff of her house with the crime scene tape wrapped around it.
Did that spook you a little bit?
Absolutely.
Did you start texting her to try to find out what was going on?
Yes.
Initially, did she respond to any of your texts?
No.
And you later found out that her phone had been taken from her?
Correct.
Okay. At some point, do you get a text from her, but from Kim Richardson's phone?
I believe so, yeah.
And is that when you realized she had switched over to using a different phone to text you?
Sure.
Brandon, and actually, let's look at the text for a second. July 14th at 18:26 p.m. 8:49 p.m. And it says, "Is this Skylar?" And then the response to that is yes, but now it's from Kim Richardson instead of Skylar with the 4 hearts. Would you agree?
Yes.
Is that when you first realized that she was now texting you or communicating with you through a different phone?
Yes.
Okay, and you were confirming when you're getting this text from Kim Richardson that it's not Kim, but that it's in fact Skylar?
Correct.
Okay.
Scrap, hold on just 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Once everything started coming out, Skylar started sending you some text indicating she was concerned about what your reaction was going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. On that same date, following in line with her identifying herself as Skylar on Kim's phone at 8:27, she sends you a text and says, "I'm so, are you going to break up with me?" And then the next one is sorry, probably indicating that that's what the so was supposed to mean. Do you recall getting that text from her?
Yeah.
And your response to her was, "No, can you start to explain what's going on?" And she responded back, "Not really, not right now. They were investigating something in our backyard. They had to talk to all of us. It was terrible and scary and horrible, and we can't even go home right now with all of the people at our house. Are you going to leave me?" When that series of texts is going on, other than seeing her house on TV and crime scene tape going up around it, did you have any idea still what was happening?
I believe the initial report was there was a fetus found in the backyard.
Okay. You didn't know what the circumstances of that were, did you?
No.
You just at that point knew what you were hearing on the TV?
Correct.
Okay. And you responded back to her at 8:43, "I'm here, I love you, and I will support you not matter what. I just need to know what's really going on. I'm always going to be here for you." And her response to that was, "Are you mad at me? Is everyone mad at me? I am so sorry. I feel awful. I'm really sorry. Are you okay?" And you responded back, "I'm here for you, and no one is mad at you. No one hates you. We are all here, and just want to know what really happened, babe. I love you more than you'll ever know, and we'll make it through anything." Were you now trying to give her the reassurance that not knowing what's going on, you're still going to be there for her?
Yes.
At 8:34, in response to what you said, Miss Richardson says, "Okay, thank God I couldn't handle the thought of losing you. I'm sorry. I'm just so scared and freaked out and tired, and me and my family are really freaked out, but I can't say too much now right now just because, but it's fine. I love you more than anything. Just know that, okay? I am so sorry that I can't say more right now, but me and my family are going to try and get some rest. Please stay with me through this. and the media is going to say crazy things, but please don't leave me. At that point in time, did you still know what was going on, or just what you were hearing from the TV?
Just what I had heard from TV.
And what you were hearing from the TV was that a fetus had been found in the yard.
Correct.
You tried to, it sounds like, give her more reassurance by saying, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to stay right here. All I need is answers. I love you so much, babe. Sleep tight. You
Yeah.
recall doing that?
Yeah.
The next morning, you guys resumed texting, correct?
Yes.
And you send her a text and say, I support you and will stand with you through all of this. I made a commitment to support you, and I will stand by your side through all of this. I love you and will be here no matter what I am. No matter what, I am here whenever you're ready. Love, Brandon. P.S. That letter I sent you while you were in Florida, I got it back. So are you, it sounds like, still trying, not sure really what's going on, but to continue to offer her some reassurance?
Yes.
And I assume the letter that you're referencing, that's back from spring break?
No. She took a family vacation to Destin, and I was unable to go.
So that was separate and apart from spring break?
Yes.
And to that last text of yours, she responded back, I love you. I am so sorry that I never told you. Please understand that I was scared and worried and so scared of losing you. Thank you for choosing to stay with me. I need you more than ever right now, and I'm so lucky to have you. So lucky. I need you so bad right now. I've been an absolute mess. This has been terrible. So with everything going on at that time, you made a commitment to stay with her.
Yeah.
And she made a commitment to you as well.
Yes.
And again, recognizing that you were 16 and she was 18, you believed this to be a very serious relationship, correct, Brandon?
Yes.
At some point, you did start questioning her about who the father was. Do you recall that? On that same date, just shortly after that last text, you said one of my biggest questions, and this is at 11:51:56, is who the father was. Do you recall that line of questioning?
Yeah.
You also said, we all are mostly worried about you and your family. We all love you. And she responded back, that guy, Trey, I used to date, who I never talk about. I'm so sorry for lying and for not telling you in the first place. I am so sorry. Please forgive me eventually. I'm so sorry. You knew that she had been dating Trey well before you and her started dating, correct?
Yeah.
And did she ever give you, up until this point in time, any indication about the nature of her relationship with Trey?
No.
You asked her, why didn't you share this with me before? Did you use protection and it failed? I'm willing to forgive. I just need answers. That's all. And her response to you was yes, or yeah, I guess so. I will give you any answers you need. I'm sorry. And you started asking her more questions. You wanted to know what had happened and how this came to be, right?
Yeah.
And you said, so you used a condom? And she said, yes, and one time without, so that was probably what happened. I'm so sorry, Brandon. I love you more than anything. I know this is terrible, and I lied, and I'm so sorry. And again, you try to give her reassurance that you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You said, we are okay. I'm not going to break up with you. Your response to her was, we are okay. I'm not going to break up with you. I just feel hurt, sad, confused, and I just wish it was mine. I think this is so hard because it wasn't mine, and you were my girlfriend. And I know you didn't cheat. I just feel so much, and I can't think, eat, sleep, drink, move. I have no energy to do anything. I'm going to be with you forever. I just need time because I feel so much. I am not going to leave you or change my mind. I'm a stubborn person. My mind is set. This is hard for me. I need you and I want you and I love you. At your age, it had to have been pretty hard learning everything that was going on
Yeah.
and knowing that all of that had been kept from you,
Yeah.
but you were trying to deal with it
Right.
and come to terms with it.
Yeah.
And you said, I know you're going through more. I'm here for you. Like I always promised, I love you so much. Anything you need. So again, you're still trying to put yourself out there for her.
Yeah.
And her response to you was, I understand that. I'm so sorry, but we were together in like August. I didn't even know I was pregnant for sure until April. I am so sorry that you feel like this. I hate that I've done this to you and made you feel this way. I hate myself for everything that has happened. I'm so unbelievably sorry. I just love you, and you have to understand how absolutely terrified I was, especially of loving you, of losing you. Do you recall all of those text exchanges occurring between you and Miss Richardson, Brandon?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any discussions with Miss Richardson about whether she wanted to keep her baby?
I don't remember.
Okay. After that first interview, when her phone was taken, you guys talked. You committed to staying with her, correct?
Yes.
I want to direct your attention to July 22nd. Did the defendant ask you to come over and help her clean her room?
Yes. I don't know the exact date, but yeah.
Did you think that was odd?
No.
Why not?
It was messy.
Her room was, it wasn't odd because her room was messy?
Yeah.
But you didn't routinely clean her room, correct?
No.
Okay. But on this particular date, after her interview, she asked you if you would come over and help her?
Yes.
What types of things did she have you help her do in the room?
Just pick up trash, throw things away, put things away, and move the bed.
Okay. Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 61 for purposes of identification. Brandon, is that the location that she asked you to move her bed to?
Yes.
Did she give you any explanation on that day when she asked you to come over and help her clean as to why she wanted to clean her room on that date, or why she wanted you to move her bed?
Yeah, she said she just wanted to change.
She said she wanted a change?
Yeah.
I want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 123 for purposes of identification. Is that the position the bed was in prior to her having you move it?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Your Honor, I have nothing else at this time.
Witnesses, you may inquire. May I have 1 minute, Your Honor? You may.
I'm okay, thank you. Thanks.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. You can step down. Our afternoon break maybe a little bit early so that we can get some of our tech set up. Remember the things that I have previously told you. Don't start talking about the case amongst yourselves or begin to think about how it should be decided. And we will see everybody back here in about 15 minutes.
Okay, we just ended Brandon Saylor's testimony, and right at this point, The court is taking a bit of a break before we can get to Detective Christopher Wong's testimony. And that's the reason why they're talking about getting all the tech set up for that, because there's a lot of added documentation that's going to be shown, and it's going to be very interesting to see what this detective has to bring to the table. So what we're going to do is get prepped up for that piece of testimony, and we are going to hear from Detective Christopher Wong. Okay. Oh, and to every answer, I want to send a quick shout out to Dippy Escapes, who had jumped in the chat. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. And I would love to get your some expert commentary from you on this entire case as well. So thank you for dropping by.
Proceed, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you. Sir, will you please state your name, spell your last name for the record?
Christopher Wong, W-O-N-G,
Where are you employed?
the Warren County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been employed there?
A couple weeks short of 20 years.
What's your position, sir?
I'm a detective.
And what do your duties consist of as a detective?
My duties consist of general casework, burglaries, and such, and digital forensics.
And explain to the jurors what you mean when you say one of your duties is digital forensics.
So digital forensics is, at its basic level, the collection of data within digital devices. The process is the identification of what devices we need to use, the preservation of that data, the examination of that data, and then the analysis of the data, with the end result being to answer some type of question in a courtroom.
And what kind of digital devices are you talking about, sir?
They range from computers to network environments to mobile phones, tablets.
And is that extraction that you do of the information on those devices, is that usually completed by way of a search warrant?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about cell phones, because that's what we're going to talk about in this case. What types of information can be extracted from a cell phone, sir?
Typical information extracted from cell phones are your text messages, your call logs, your contacts, search history.
And can you explain to the jurors the process by which you go through and extract information from a cell phone?
So the process is a little different between an iPhone and an Android. For iPhones, we either use our UFED Touch 2, which is a device, kind of tabletop device, and a software called Physical Analyzer. These are both from a company called Cellbrite, and these are the main devices we use. There are other ones available, we don't use them. So the process is pretty straightforward. You get the machine set up, turned on, you hook the phone up to one side of this device, and if you don't know the actual steps for a particular phone, it actually displays these steps on the Touch 2. You follow these steps, and you can either write the data out to a thumb drive or a computer. In our case, we write it out to our computer where it's saved on a hard disk.
What do you mean when you say you can write the data out to a thumb drive or a computer? When you say write the data, what does that mean?
So the whole process that the Cellbrite does is it extracts the data out of the phone. It extracts your text messages, any data that's available on this device to the UFED Touch. It takes that and puts it into a forensic image onto our computer.
Does it always capture everything on a phone?
No.
And why is that?
The basic level is with iPhones, we don't have access to the actual memory. We cannot talk directly to the memory on an iPhone as we can with some devices. So therefore, we have to go take the process through what's called an API, which is the Application Programming Interfaces, which dictates how our devices communicate. For instance, the API will dictate, say my machine goes, can I have the emails? And the API will say yes. Can I have the phone numbers? Yes. Can I have your deleted data? No. And that's the process in its simplest form.
Okay. And how is the data affected if it's been deleted on the phone? If somebody has went through and tried to delete the data, how does that work generally?
So with smartphones, deleted is, we have to look at the term in a little bit different way. Deleted can be either you as a user marked it for deletion, you can no longer see it, or it is completely erased from the memory. These two processes occur when the data is deleted.
Okay, so you said one way is that the user deletes it and it just doesn't show up on the phone anymore, is that right?
No, it doesn't show up, yes, to the user
Correct.
at that time.
But it's still potentially in the phone's memory, is that right?
It's in the phone's databases.
Okay. And then the other way that you talked about is if somebody deletes it, and then can it be deleted permanently so that it can't be recovered?
So once you mark whatever it is that you want to delete, there's a process in the background that actually overwrites this. It's called garbage collection, is what the process is actually called.
Okay. And once it's gone through the garbage collection process, once it's been overridden, that information can't be retrieved.
Correct, it's gone.
Okay. The information or the data that is able to be captured, are you able to select and print different extraction reports containing the specific information that you want?
Such as paper reports?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Detective, in this case, were you asked to conduct a search and extraction on several electronic devices that were recovered during the investigation of a homicide case involving Brooke Richardson?
Yes.
And were your searches of those devices conducted pursuant to a search warrant obtained by the Warren County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Specifically, did you perform an extraction on the following devices? An iPhone 6S identified as belonging to Brandon Saylor?
Yes.
An iPhone 7 Plus identified as belonging to Kim Richardson's personal cell phone?
Yes.
And an iPhone 6S identified as the suspect Brooke Richardson's phone?
Yes.
And were you specifically requested to obtain and print items obtained from the extraction of each one of those devices?
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention first to the extraction that you performed on an iPhone 6S identified as Brandon's phone. I'm going to hand you what's been marked for, actually I don't need to, I'll put it on the screen, what's been marked for identification as State's Exhibit number 54. Is this the phone that you extracted information for that was identified as Brandon's phone?
Yes.
And the phone number associated with that phone is 513-267-2038. Is that correct?
I'd have to refer to my report.
Okay. And let me. Okay. Thank you. And were you requested to print specific contacts for Brandon's phone?
Yes.
Placing on the screen State's Exhibit 124. Are these the specific contacts that you were requested to retrieve from Brandon's phone, one for Kim Richardson and one for Skylar?
Yes.
Okay. And then specifically with respect to the contact information for Skylar, you can see there's a photo attached to that contact. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And sir, putting State's Exhibit 125 on the screen. Is this the photo that was attached to the contact for Skylar on Brandon Saylor's phone?
Yes.
So you also requested to print several text messages between Brandon's phone and the contact identified as Skylar, and Brandon's phone and the contact identified as Kim Richardson.
Yes.
Putting State's Exhibit 126 on the screen. Are these the text messages that you were requested to obtain from Brandon's phone, again, regarding conversations between Brandon and Skylar, and Brandon and a phone or a contact identified as Kim Richardson?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm not going to go through all the text messages because the jury just had an opportunity to hear them all.
Okay.
I now want to direct your attention to an extraction performed on an iPhone 7 Plus identified as Kim Richardson's personal phone. I'm going to put State's Exhibit number 55 on the screen. Is this the iPhone 7 Plus that you extracted information from?
Yes.
And the phone number for that phone is 937-266-1796. Is that correct?
I'd have to.
Stipulate that all the phones are what they purport to be in the photographs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with respect to, again, the phone identified as Kim Richardson's personal phone, were you requested to print contact information from that phone?
Yes.
I'm going to place State's Exhibit number 127 on the screen. Is that the contact for Skylar that you were requested to print from Ms. Richardson's personal cell phone?
Yes.
And that identifies Skylar's phone number as 937-405-9484. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that is the same number that is identified for Skylar that was on Brandon's phone information for the contact under Skylar. Is that right?
Correct.
Were you also requested to obtain and print specific messages from Kim Richardson's phone to Skylar's phone?
Yes.
Putting State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Detective, there were numerous text messages back and forth between Kim Richardson and Skylar that you were requested to retrieve. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in looking at this specific extraction report, it identifies the party that is sending the message. Is that right?
Yes.
And the parties go back and forth between Skylar and Kim Richardson, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Detective, I'm going to ask you to start with line 1. And where these text messages pick up is on, there's a timestamp that indicates April 25th of 2017 at 10:46 a.m. Do you see that?
Yes.
And that indicates, the party information then indicates that it's from Skylar, is that right?
Correct.
Gunnar, is it okay if I pull up a chair so I can slide the text
That's
messages?
fine.
Detective, if you could, beginning with that first text message, could you identify the date, time, and the description of the text message?
The date is 4/25/2017 at 10:46 a.m. from contact Skylar. Can I please not go to the doctor tomorrow? I changed my mind. I don't want to, and I don't want to be on the pill. I'm way too scared to go, and I'm completely scared too, and I'm seriously panicking about prom and not looking my best. It's hitting me how much I hate myself for getting that dress and looking like I do when it's my senior prom, and I'm gonna look so bad. I finally have friends to go with, a great group and a great date, but I've screwed myself so much with how I look, and I'm freaking out, and I feel so scared. I just want everything to be okay, and you tell me it will be okay. For the next one, same date, 10:47 a.m. from contact Kim Richardson. I'm here for you and it will be okay. Just relax, do not panic. Same date, 10:54 a.m. from Skylar. Thank you. I'm trying not to, I'm just in freak out mode. I want to look amazing again. More than anything, I hate being like this so much. Same date, 11:16 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Honey, you run each day and literally drop sweat, eat good, and you can drop quick. I'm serious. If you get serious, you can PROB, pull it out.
Slide.
Okay, continue, please.
Same date, 11:21 a.m. from Skylar. That's what I think, and I hope so, but every time I look at myself in that dress, I just cringe. I'm so afraid I'm gonna look bad. Same date, 11:42 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Turn those thoughts into how to burn as much as and do as much every single day, or else you will be sad. Get a plan in place, only you can do that. Same date, 11:43 a.m. from Skylar. Okay. Same date, 11:44 a.m. from Kim Richardson. But we need to talk about the doctor thing. You are doing adult actions. You do not want to get pregnant. Then there is no college because we'll have to work to feed your baby. No joke. Who will raise it? Same date, 11:45 a.m. from Skylar. Okay, I'll go. Same date, 11:57 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Don't be mad at me. I'm thinking of your future. If you do adult things, you need to take adult actions and be responsible. I only want you to reach your potential and not have any roadblocks. It's either stop doing that or be responsible. I'm helping you, not hurting you, okay?
And continue, please.
Same date, 11:59 a.m. from Skylar. I'm not mad at you. I am just very, very scared to go, and I'm scared that it is a boy doctor. Same date, 11:59 a.m. from Kim Richardson. It is a boy doctor. That's the same guy I go to. Same date, 12 p.m. from Skylar. Okay. Same date, 12:02 p.m. from Kim Richardson. He brought I into this world. He is a very good doctor. If you want, you can go to Planned Parenthood, but you have to pay out of pocket, and the doctors are not quality. Why? Doctor is a surgeon and been doing this for years. I am sick about it too, but I will have to do what best for your future so you will have one. Same date, 12:02 p.m. from Skylar. Okay. 12:15, same April 26, 2017 at 12:15 p.m. Kim Richardson, love you. I will pay for your doctor visit and your pills will be monthly PROB, only 20 or so a month. But I will get through today. Trust me, this is easier than childbirth. You are my child and you're tougher than you know. It will be over before you know it. Same date, April 26, 12:16 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, thanks. Well, I have to go back a lot. And how long do you think it will take?
Putting page 2 of State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
April 26, 2017, 12:18 p.m. from Kim Richardson. So you may have to go back, excuse me, in 1 month to make sure the pills agree with you. But they just talked during that visit. And once a year you go in for an exam. They make sure you don't have cancer or any diseases from intercourse. That's it. And PROB, like 45 MIN, but you're his first appointment for the day, so it's good he won't be running behind. Same date, 12:20 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, I will probably just want to go back alone because that's really embarrassing. Same date, 12:21 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Oh, trust me, I can't go back with you. You are 18, so I can't. And yes, you will have a gown to cover your body, but there will be a nurse in there with you. You can ask him any question you have, and it's between you. They don't involve me. You're 18, so it's easy. I'm going to make sure you are okay, just support and provide insurance. Same date, 12:22 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, thanks. Same date, 12:22 p.m. from Skylar. I'm just nervous, not mad at you or anything.
Continue, please.
Same date, 12:25 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Take some Advil before you go. That way it will fight the soreness, and if anything hurts too much, tell him and he will be easier. I'm glad you're not. I don't want you to get a disease or pregnant, so I'm really helping you. The poor girls who have slept with everyone will carry a disease and never know which could cause them to never be able to have kids or die. I just want you to have a future. Go to college instead of raising a child and working. Same date, 12:27 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, thank you. Same date, 12:28 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Just remember you have to take the pill every single day. There are shots or implants, but taking a pill each day isn't painful and it's very effective. But you can talk to doctor about that. I just chose pill when Dad and I got married. Same date, 12:30 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, that sounds easiest. Same date, 3:50 p.m. from Kim Richardson. We will leave soon, but get out, take a run, do something because it's really getting down to the wire. Did he say anything about your stomach? I want to keep being honest and open. Even Dad asked me about your tummy. So PLZ, find a way to get yourself back ASAP. Same date, 3:51 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, I will go for a run here soon. I'm about to do an ab workout. Same date, 3:51 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Okay, good. I'm fighting this with you. Same date, 4:52 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Just F. Got a call. You have your prescription ready. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Same date, 4:54 p.m. from Skylar. Okay, or I can go on way to work tomorrow. Same date, 4:55 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Okay, I'll give you insurance cars. Same date, 4:55 p.m. from Skylar. Sweet, sounds good.
Continue, please.
Same date, 6:33 p.m. from Skylar. SRSLY. Am so glad I went for a run today, though that really boosted my mindset and mood. Same date, 6:34 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Great, I am so happy you needed it, and it will help your dress. Same date, 6:35 p.m. from Skylar. Definitely, and I noticed my shorts a lot looser. Same date, 6:36 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Great, see how quick you can turn it around. Hit another round of sit-ups later tonight. It will only help. 4/26/2017, same date, 6:36 p.m. from Skylar. Definitely. Same date, 8:58 p.m. from Skylar. Quick question. Same date, 8:59 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yes. Same date, 8:59 p.m. from Skylar. Sorry, I meant. Same date, 8:59 p.m. from Skylar, but it starts with Sunday, but today is Wednesday. Should I take the one labeled Wednesday or just start with Sunday?
Placing page 3 of State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
April 26, 2017, 9:01 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Look at the directions. I believe take it Wednesday, but the instructions will be in there. I need to see the case. It is a circle. Same date, 9:01 p.m. from Kim Richardson. The day just helps you make sure you took it the day it is. Same date, 9:02 p.m. from Skylar. I'm reading the directions. It is a little confusing, but okay, I will just take the first one in the pack. I think that's to help you remember. You're right. Same date, 9:03 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yeah, so go with Wednesday, but I recall it does something about starting by your cycle. Just reread the instructions on the envelopes. Same date, 9:04 p.m. from Skylar. Okay. May 1st, 2017, 9:04 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Are you at school yet? Same date, 9:05 a.m. from Skylar. Just got here, why? Same date, 9:06 a.m. from Kim Richardson. This is your email from your doctor visit. What does PT pregnant mean? And then there's an attachment.
And Detective, are you able to make a copy of that attachment?
Yes.
Putting State's Exhibit number 129 on the screen. Is this the attachment that was sent to Skylar from Kim Richardson with that message that you just read?
Yes.
Okay, continue, please.
Same date, 9:06 a.m. from Skylar, no clue. Same date, 9:07 a.m. from Skylar, I can call later or something and see. Same date, 9:07 a.m. from Kim Richardson, you should call right now. Are you joking later? Same date, 9:07 a.m. from Skylar, sorry, I just got to school, I'll call now. Same date, 9:07 a.m. from Kim Richardson, your life could potentially be over and you will call later. Same date, 9:08 a.m. from Kim Richardson. It's the number's 513-424-1440. Same date, 9:08 a.m. from Skylar. No, sorry, I meant like I figured it was probably just a mistake. You're scaring me. Same date, 9:08 a.m. from Skylar. Okay. Same date, 9:24 a.m. from Skylar. Please still have a good day. Mommy, I'm sorry if you are stressed now, but I wouldn't be getting smaller if I was, and I wouldn't be on birth control. I love you, PLZ. Don't be mad at me or sad. It was just an accident. Please, let's have a good day. It's prom week. Same date, 9:32 a.m. from Kim Richardson. I cannot tell you how my heart stopped because I care too much and want I to have a future. That eliminates all that. I just a few hours to adjust. Woo woo.
Continue, please.
Same date, 9:33 a.m. from Skylar. So did mine. I'm so sorry. That freaked me the freak out too. I was shaking. I'm sorry again. Okay, let's make today great. I understand. Same date, 9:34 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Yes. Same date, 11:49 a.m. from Skylar. Getting so excited for prom. Same date, 11:50 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Good, you need to have fun. It's your last one. Same date, 11:51 a.m. from Skylar. Now that I'm getting better control of my weight and exercise, I have more time to be excited. Same date, 11:52 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Good, I am so proud. You will have so many other chances to dress cute, so stay motivated. It's a bit off, but you may want to go back to HC with Brandon, and I will want to look great.
Continue, please.
Same date, 11:54 a.m. from Skylar. Thanks, that motivates me so much. Yo, hear you say that. I've been killing it the PST week. I feel like I'm getting a hang of what works for me and how yo control my weight and hunger. And those pills have been a big help too. But exactly like I have a grad dress to work for, summer clothes, another homecoming. Same date, 11:56 a.m. from Kim Richardson. I know those pills are good. We can do this. Same date, 11:56 a.m. from Skylar. Definitely.
Page 4 of State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
Still on May 1st, 2017, 11:58 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Keep fighting for you. You want to make yourself proud, and then Brandon also benefits from having a super amazing girlfriend too. Same date, 11:59 a.m. from Skylar. LOL, yes, I'm working so I can be confident in myself and not have to hate myself, and then everyone around me benefits too. May 2nd, 2017, 8:36 a.m. from Kim Richardson. You feeling better? Same date, 8:39 a.m. from Skylar. Yes, I slept for about 30 minutes before I had to get up, and that definitely helped. Ready to tackle today. Same date, 8:40 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Great, your hormones are DEF, going to be wacky, so just try to relax. Take Advil, then in a few months, I will be super regular and all will be well. Same date, 8:42 a.m. from Skylar. Thanks, I will. These are horrible. They feel like some of my worst period cramps, but I'll survive. My workout will help relax them later. Same date, 8:43 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Yes, it will relax them. At least this means the pills are starting to work on you.
Continue, please.
Same date, 8:45 a.m. from Skylar. Yes, very good sign. May 4th, 2017, 3:37 p.m. from Skylar. Bossed up 300 calories on the treadmill, which was pretty good for how I am feeling. Couldn't get a picture to show off BC. I was talking to Linwood, LOL, but I'm headed home. May 5th, 2017, 3:34 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You look amazing. Same date, 3:34 p.m. from Skylar. Thanks so much. I feel amazing. May 7th, 2017, 11:35 a.m. from Skylar. I'm literally speechless with how happy I am. My belly is back. OMG. I am never, ever, ever, ever letting it GRT like this again. You are about to see me look freaking better than before. OMG. Same date, 12:03 p.m. from Kim Richardson. That is what I'm talking about. Way to be great attitude. It paid off. I am so, so proud. You will look amazing at school tomorrow.
Continue, please.
Same date, 12:04 p.m. from Skylar. I'm literally so excited now just for dinner to wear something cute. Yay, my belly is back. Now I am taking this opportunity to make it amazing. Same date, 12:04 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yes. Same date, 2:14 p.m. from Skylar. Boss mode wasn't on full blast today. BC, my pain, but you best believe it's about to be all week. I hit that treadmill for 200 cals, then abs, and I couldn't D-top looking at myself in the mirror after LOL. Same date, 3:03 p.m. from Skylar. I'll be ready in 15 minutes at most. Same date, 3:03 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Is Brandon coming here? Same date, 3:03 p.m. from Skylar. Yep.
Continue, please.
Same date, 3:04 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Okay, boys are out. I'll get them in. Let's kill it again this week. We on a roll. Same date, 3:07 p.m. from Skylar. Agreed. I'm gonna start weighing myself every week and getting serious about this like I'm about to be boss looking. Same date, 3:07 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Could not be prouder. Same date, 3:18 p.m. from Skylar. Thanks so much. Same date, 7:03 p.m. from Skylar. I bled through a little bit. I'm about to go in, take a quick bath, and then put some jeans on since Brandon is coming back over. May 8th, 2017, 12:04 p.m. from Skylar. Other than that, how is your day? Beautiful. Same date, 12:08 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Not too bad. How is hers? Same date, 12:09 p.m. from Skylar. Great. I feel like a literal new person. I'm confident and happy. I have been strutting down every hallway, killing it, and been thinking about how awesome I'm going to look this summer. Same date, 12:09 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yay. Now that made my day.
Putting page 5 of State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
Continue with May 8th, 2017 at 12:11 p.m. from Skylar. Seriously, I got my shoulders back, good posture and everything. I feel so good about myself. I cannot freaking believe I weighed 128. I haven't been in the 120s in so long. I'm going to wait till next Monday to weigh myself. Now I bet I can be down to 120. Same date, 12:20 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You easily can see I knew you had it in you, but I need to keep on the Dulcolax and all that too. You will rock Destin next month. Same date, 12:21 p.m. from Skylar. I still am and will definitely, and yes, I look really good. Wait till you see my belly today. It looked even better now. I just got to tone up. Same date, 12:22 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Dang, you know, your muscles are still there, so I can get them back really quick. Trust me, I am so excited for you. I have no idea. Same date, 12:25 p.m. from Skylar. Definitely, I can easily tone my belly and legs super quick. It makes me super excited.
Continue, please.
Same date, 4:02 p.m. from Skylar. Not sure if you got my pic, but crushed it on the treadmill, 2 miles and 300 cals. Then did legs and abs and even used some machines. So I am a babe. Same date, 4:03 p.m. from Kim Richardson. No, I didn't get it, but yeah, you wrote book on babe. May 9th, 2017, 10:06 a.m. from Skylar. You should come too if you're up for it. You can see how great I look in all the dresses. Same date, 10:07 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Girl, you are so killing it. I swear it made me so happy and in a good mood knowing you look so great. Same date, 10:08 a.m. from Skylar. Literally me too. Like I just want to constantly show off all the time and keep looking better and better. I have so much potential right now to sculpt my body. Same date, 10:08 a.m. from Kim Richardson. That is so true. Same date, 10:09 a.m. from Skylar. Love it. Same date, 3:41 p.m. from Skylar. Here, ready to boss this place up. Same date, 3:42 p.m. from Kim Richardson, because that's what you do. Same date, 4:30 p.m. from Skylar. Doubt you'll GRT the pick, but bossed up that treadmill, 2 miles and 300 cals. But I was speeding today, LOL. Now on to legs and abs. Same date, 4:35 p.m. from Kim Richardson. So awesome. Same date, 5:47 p.m. from Skylar. Frick, I'm going to be sore tomorrow, but I crush it. I'm coming home. Same date, 4:55 p.m. from Kim Richardson. I'm not able to come up with the words, but you being this happy has just made my life so much better. Thank you. Same date, 5:31 p.m. from Skylar. Thanks so much. I'm glad you are so happy because so am I, and I love when everyone is happy. Woohoo. Same date, 5:35 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Me too. It's been a long time. Same date, 5:35 p.m. from Skylar. We are keeping this happiness up though. Same date, 5:35 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yes, we are. Same date, 7:24 p.m. from Skylar. I'm happy and loving shopping now that I look so good. LOL, I'm ecstatic. Are you okay? Same date, 7:25 p.m. from Kim Richardson. I'm Estancia because you will look like this when I wake up tomorrow. You will be happy and look great, and it makes me so super happy. Same date, 7:30 p.m. from Skylar. Yes, I love it. I love getting myself back in the shape. It's so exciting.
Continue, please.
Same date, 7:31 p.m. from Kim Richardson. I'm excited for you, and I have not been excited in forever. Same date, 7:32 p.m. from Skylar. Yay, same, I'm pumped, and that makes me happy knowing you're excited. Same date, 7:32 p.m. from Kim Richardson. I truly am. Same date, 7:34 p.m. from Skylar. Yay, good. May 10th, 2017, 10:34 a.m. from Skylar. I'm ready to boss up this workout. I'm going to try and kill the elliptical today and get back on the workout machines.
Putting page 6 of 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
May 10th, 2017, 10:35 a.m. from Kim Richardson. I'm so jelly. Yes, you will boss it up and keep rocking out your clothes. Same date, 10:36 a.m. from Skylar. Heck yes, then dress up and look cute for the baseball game. Same date, 6:47 p.m. from Skylar. Brandon's mom said I looked like I lost weight. It makes me happy. PPL noticing. Same date, 6:47 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You cannot notice you're rocking it. Same date, 6:48 p.m. from Skylar. Thanks so much. I love it. I just want to show off all the time now. Same date, 6:49 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You can every day. You keep it up. Same date, 6:49 p.m. from Skylar. Oh, heck yes.
Continue, please.
Same date, 6:49 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Killing it at senior day and school, and you're in grad party. Same date, 6:50 p.m. from Skylar. No one gonna be able to touch me. I'm gonna be killing it. May 14th, 2017, 11:28 a.m. from Skylar. OMG, I'm done so freaking fresh, so I am pumped. In 15 minutes, I bossed up 1.3 miles and 130 cals on the elliptical. Holy, I don't remember ever being that fast or strong on an elliptical. I feel so awesome right now. Same date, 11:28 a.m. from Kim Richardson. You are the boss. You will rock your grad party. May 15th, 2017, 2:44 p.m. from Skylar. Here, about to crush this elliptical. May 15th, 2017, 2:44 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You got this.
Continue, please.
Same date, 3:54 p.m. from Skylar. 500 calories and 4.3 miles on the elliptical. It's amazing how much easier that was without all that extra weight. Same date, 3:55 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Yay, I got the pick. You make me so proud. Dang, that is impressive. I bet you are so fast now, though, too. Same date, 3:56 p.m. from Skylar. Probably much faster. LOL. I feel awesome. I don't think I've ever been able to done that on the elliptical before. Now I have to do my abs so I can lose my lower belly chub. Same date, 3:57 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You don't have any chub, but okay. Same date, 6:12 p.m. from Skylar. LOL, casual warm-up before I die at boot camp. And there's an attachment. Same date, 6:17 p.m. from Skylar. 2.55 miles and 300 cals before the real butt kicker ever happens.
Continue, please.
Same date, 6:19 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You bossed it, PLZ, be careful, but man, you will be the hottest GF at Brandon's games. Same date, 7:29 p.m. from Skylar. I feel awesome. That was so great. I'm so happy and proud. First thing Linwood said to me was, wow, you look great. How much weight have you lost? And it made me feel so incredibly proud to say 20 pounds. Then he announced it to the whole class, and everyone clapped and cheered for me. It made me feel so good. Same date, 7:30 p.m., Kim Richardson. I could cry. You literally my hero. Same date, 7:30 p.m. from Skylar. THXS. So much. I feel awesome. I am heading home. Same date, 7:30 p.m. from Kim Richardson. You are awesome. Be careful.
Continue, please.
May 18th, 2017, 11:28 a.m. from Skylar. Okay, thanks. You know what's crazy? When I went to Gyno on April 25th, I was 149 pounds, and today on May 18th, I weigh 119 pounds. That's literally 30 pounds gone. Same date, 11:29 a.m. from Kim Richardson. Literally amazing and crazy to do the math on that. I'm so proud you do this for you, and you are so happy now. That's all I ever want for you. July 1st, 2017, from Kim Richardson. Hilltop OBGYN left a message. You are due for your follow-up. Make a reminder on your calendar to call Monday and schedule your appointment for your follow-up on pills. You will have to go in and plan to be there at least an hour. Same date, 12:48 p.m. from Skylar. Okay.
Putting page 7 of State's Exhibit 128 on the screen. Continue, please.
July 3rd, 2017, 7:47 a.m. from Kim Richardson, and the doctor opens at 8, so call and see what type of checkup you need for your pills or you will run out. Have your work schedule in front of you so you can make your appointment when you're off work. July 12th, 2017, 4 p.m. from Skylar. Finally, all done. Everything all good. My prescription will be ready about 2 hours or so. I can go get it later. I like the lady. I went to a lot better. I think I will keep going to her. Same date, 4 p.m. from Kim Richardson. Great. Who see all better and done.
Those are all of the text messages between Kim and Skylar that you were requested to retrieve. Is that correct?
Correct.
Finally, did you also have an opportunity to perform an extraction on an iPhone 6S ID'd as belonging to Brooke Richardson?
Yes.
Do you want to stipulate what we show? When you extract information from a phone, does it provide you with specific details associated with that phone?
Yes.
And is one of the details that it will provide you with something called owner name or owner of the phone?
Yes.
And did you have an opportunity to view that on Skylar's phone?
Yes.
And what was the owner name associated with Skylar's phone?
Princess's phone.
Were you requested to print specific contacts from the defendant's phone?
Yes.
these the specific contacts that you were requested to print from Skylar's phone?
Yes,
One for Brandon and one identified as mom?
correct.
And were you also requested to print specific searches that were conducted on the phone that occurred on April the 17th of 2017?
Yes,
Placing State's Exhibit 131 on the screen. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 131?
these are Safari web searches.
And does it indicate the date and time that they were conducted?
Yes,
And what is that, Detective?
April 17th, 2017.
And it looks like these all occurred around 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And what was the specific Safari search? Start at the first one and then work our way down.
What happens at your first gyno visit? The next one down is the same. The third one down is what happens at the gyno when you're pregnant, and the fourth one's the same as the third.
And then I want to ask you about the very last column where it indicates deleted or not. What does that mean?
Deleted, if we go back to the beginning, deleted is simply the user. If we're able to see it here and it's marked as deleted in Cellbrite, that means someone erased it from their view, but the phone hasn't actually erased it altogether yet.
Okay. And were you able to find any other internet searches that occurred at all during that time period from what would have been April through May 7th of 2017?
No,
Does that mean that no other searches existed?
no.
What is it? Tell me about that.
So the second half of this whole deleted thing, where the data is actually overridden in the memory. Once that happens, we don't see it anymore. There could be countless searches that we just never saw.
But all of them would have had to have at first been deleted by the owner, is that right?
Correct.
Were you also requested to obtain and print specific messages between Skylar and her mother, and also between Skylar and Brandon?
Yes.
I'm going to put State's Exhibit 132 on the screen. What are we looking at on number 1 of this exhibit, State's Exhibit 132?
Number one is a recovered iMessage that was deleted.
And does it indicate what time it was created?
May 7th, 2017. Excuse me. 11:35 a.m.
And can you read the contents of the message?
I'm literally speechless with how happy I am. My belly is back. OMG. I am never, ever, ever, ever letting a GRT like this again. You're about to see me looking freaking better than before. OMG.
And does it indicate at the far right-hand column whether this specific message was deleted by the owner of the phone?
Yes.
And what was it in fact deleted?
Yes.
Okay. And with respect to number 2, what are we looking at in number 2?
This is another deleted message, iMessage.
And does it indicate the participants of the message?
Yes, Skylar and Mom.
Okay. And what is the contents of the message?
He brought I into this world. He is a very good doctor. If you want, you can go to Planned Parenthood, but you have to pay out of pocket, and the doctors are not quality. Why? Doctor is a surgeon and been doing this for years. I am sick about it too, but I have to do what best for your future, so you will have one.
And you indicated that is another deleted message?
Yes.
Okay. And then finally, number 3. What are we looking at there?
This is another deleted message, iMessage.
And does it indicate the participants?
Skylar and Brandon.
And does it indicate the time?
May 6, 2017, 12:29 p.m.
And the contents of the message, please.
I'm so sorry for not replying. I was having horrible cramps, so I've been laying on my couch with a heating pad this whole time. I'm sorry. I love you always.
And Detective, there are no other messages or responses on Skylar's phone during that time period. Is that right?
Correct.
That were at least able to be recovered. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And so, again, and you talked a little bit about it, but we've obviously seen messages from Brandon's phone between Brandon and Skylar, and we've also seen messages on Kim Richardson's phone between Kim and Skylar. None of those messages were able to be retrieved from Skylar's phone. Is that correct?
Correct.
And again, how could that be?
They were deleted.
Okay, and not just deleted, then they were overridden by the garbage process that you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so that doesn't mean they didn't exist. They've just been completely overridden on the phone,
Yes.
which would make them unavailable to you to recover when you do your extraction.
Correct.
In addition to the text messages, were you also requested to obtain and print photographs that were contained on the defendant's phone between the period of April 6, 2017 through May 22nd, 2017?
Yes.
I'm going to put State's Exhibit 133 on the screen. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 133?
These are the pictures requested for this court case. This is a PDF printout with the pictures. The pictures actually on this piece of paper are thumbnails of the actual pictures on the phone.
Okay. And does it indicate what time, the date and time that the photograph was created?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with number 1. That thumbnail, what date and time was that created, sir?
April 6, 2017, 3:42 p.m.
And were you requested also to then print the actual photograph that goes with the thumbnail?
Yes.
Putting State's Exhibit 134A on the screen. Is that the photograph associated with that thumbnail that was created on March 25th?
Yes.
Okay. Going to the next thumbnail, does it indicate the date and time that was created?
May 5th, 2017, 5:56 p.m.
Okay, I'm putting State's Exhibit 134B on the screen. Is that the photograph associated with that thumbnail created on May 5th?
Yes.
Looking at thumbnail, or I'm sorry, entry number 3, what was the date and time that that was created?
May 7th, 2017, 2:08 p.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134C on the screen. What are we looking at in State's Exhibit 134C?
That is the picture from line 3.
Okay, that goes with, that was created on May the 7th, that afternoon, approximately 2 p.m.
Correct.
Looking at entry 4, what date and time was entry or photograph 4 created?
May 7th, 2017, 9:16 p.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134D on the screen. Is this the photograph that was associated with that entry that occurred on May 7th that evening?
Yes.
Looking at photograph number 5, what date and time was that created?
May 8th, 2017, 2:54 p.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134E on the screen. Is this the photograph associated or that was created there on May the 8th?
Yes.
And entry number 6, what date and time was that photograph created?
May 9th, 2017, 3:45 p.m.
Putting State's Exhibit 134F on the screen. Is this the photograph that was created on May 9th that you just described?
Yes.
Looking at number 7, entry number 7, that photograph, what date and time was that created?
May 10th, 2017, 2:32 p.m.
Putting 134G on the screen. Is this the photograph that was taken or created on May the 10th?
Yes.
Finally, entry number 8. What date and time was that photograph taken?
May 11th, 2017, 6:13 a.m.
Putting State's Exhibit 134H on the screen. Is this the photograph that was created at the date and time you just indicated?
Yes.
Putting page 2 of State's Exhibit 133 on the screen. entry number 9, what date and time was that photograph created, sir?
May 14th, 2017, 12:16 p.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134I on the screen. Is this the photograph that was created at that date and time, May 14th?
Yes.
Looking at entry number 10, what date and time was that photograph created, sir?
May 15th, 2017, 2:50 p.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134J on the screen. Is that the photograph associated with the date and time that you just indicated?
Yes.
Looking at entry number 11, what is the date and time of that photograph, please?
May 16th, 2017, 11:40 a.m.
And putting State's Exhibit 134K on the screen. Is that the photograph created at that date and time?
Yes.
Looking at entry number 12, what date and time was that created, sir?
May 17th, 2017, 5:31 p.m.
Putting State's Exhibit 134L on the screen. Is that the photograph that was created that date and time?
Yes.
Looking at entry number 13, what date and time was that photograph created?
May 18th, 2017, 2:49 p.m.
Putting State's Exhibit 134M on the screen. Is that the photograph that was created at the date and time you just indicated, May
Yes.
18th?
Yes.
And finally, entry number 14, what date and time was that photograph created?
May 22nd, 2017, 12:38 p.m.
Putting State's Exhibit 134N on the screen. Is that the photograph associated with that date and time that you just indicated?
Yes.
Have one moment, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Mr. Rickers, cross-examination?
Hello.
Pretty clear from all those text messages that Kim Richardson, Skylar's mom, cared about her weight. You'd agree with me on that?
Yes.
And did you know Skylar suffered from an eating disorder since the age of 12?
No.
the prosecutor said that you were requested to retrieve, and I think he said print, those documents that you just went through. That does not mean that there are not more text messages, more photographs, emails, correct?
Correct.
In fact, if we were to print everything off of the phone and the electronic devices, it would go from the stack of paper would go from the floor to the roof, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a photograph. On the left here, the State's Exhibit 0013.
That's the state's exhibit.
I'm sorry, Defense Exhibit 0013. And on the left is a picture of Skylar in the summer before her sophomore year. And on the right is a picture of Skylar about 6 months later in the winter of her sophomore year. So I want that time frame. Did you have text messages on the phone where there were similar text messages about Skylar's weight and body image between her mom and her during that time frame when she shed 40 pounds?
I do not know.
You did print, I believe for the prosecutor, text messages between Skylar and Brandon Saylor, is that correct?
Correct.
By the way, the Big Dick Willie on the phone, that would be the user, being Brandon, that put that in there, not Skylar, right?
It would be whoever entered that person's contact in there, yes.
And that was on Brandon's phone, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And same with the picture he had for Skylar on his phone, that'd be something he chose, correct?
Correct. If I had a photo of a contact, that would be that photo.
Okay. And this is a text message from July 15th. This is when Skylar had Kim Richardson's phone. And we had a lot of texts before you came in here. Can you read that text for the jury?
Sure. Brandon, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm absolutely losing everything right now. I am having an extremely hard time staying strong. I lost a child and now all this. I just feel so broken and feel like I'm losing you. I am so sorry.
Okay. And that was July 15th?
According to this document, yes.
And this would have been something you downloaded from the phone, correct?
I'd have to go back and verify, but yes.
Fair. We had testimony and statements from the prosecutor that Skylar blocked a boy named Trey. So I want you to read this, and can you tell us from whom this is from and the date? The testimony previously was that Skylar blocked this boy named Trey back in August of 2016. What's the date on this text?
The date is Tuesday, July 18th, 2017.
And that number and that moniker up at the top, that would be from Brandon to Skylar?
I'm not sure it would be two, but it is from Brandon, yes.
Okay. And what does he say?
I got on your Instagram and blocked Trey.
And then this is 1 minute later, also from the same phone. What does he say there?
I'm sorry if that was too far.
July 20th, after Skylar was interrogated a second time, this is a text message at 11 p.m. Skylar's using Kim's phone at the time. Can you read that for the jury?
We are confused too. I'm so scared and unsure.
Okay. Now you did recover. Can you explain to the jury what a cookie is?
Cookie?
Yeah.
We refer to it as an artifact, but it's data that's left on your browser by websites that kind of track and keep track of things on you.
And you did find cookies on Skylar's phone, right? Like there was one, I think, in the police report about Babypedia.
I believe so.
And you found some searches, the prosecutor mentioned some about that had been deleted that you recovered back on April 17th. What happens at your first gyno visit?
Yes,
And what happens when you go to the gyno and you're pregnant?
yes.
And just so the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are clear, we could have printed out we're not to assume that Skylar didn't take selfie photographs in March or her sophomore year of high school or junior year of high school just because we only saw some right after she had delivered a stillborn, correct?
Correct.
Nothing on the phone, no search. There was testimony that Skylar said, she was a little bit vague, she didn't know what she searched for. She said it would have been how not to have or get rid of a baby. Any search on her phone like that?
Not that I saw.
Anything on her phone about murdering or killing a baby?
No.
Websites, cookies of websites, anything that would be sinister and motivation in the cookies that you found?
No.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else for this witness?
Just one moment, Your Honor.
Thank you, Detective. You can step down. Thanks. All right, Mr. Knippen?
At this point, subject to the admission of the state's exhibits, the state would rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going to break for the evening tonight. Remember the same things that I have told you before. You are not to discuss the case with anyone or let anyone discuss it in your presence. Do not do any research, any homework on this. Don't start talking about the case amongst yourselves or begin forming opinions about how the case should be decided. I know the farther we get into the evidence, and now that the state is rested, you start to think to yourself, I probably know enough to at least start thinking about part of this. You don't. So don't let yourself sort of go in that direction. And we will see everybody back here again at 8:45 with the idea that we are going to start at 9 o'clock. Mr. Mullins, you can take the jury out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution has already rested their case, and now it is time for the defense to present theirs. The defense is going to start with if I'm looking at my order right. The defense is going to begin with the defendant's father, Scott Richardson. We will see exactly what her father will have to say about his daughter on the witness stand and in her defense.
All right, Mr. Rickers, call your first witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll call Scott Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson is on the list of the individuals who does not wish to be photographed or filmed.
Solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Can I get a next water? Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Can you please state your full name for the record?
Scott Richardson.
And who are you married to?
Kim Richardson.
What's your relation to Skylar?
She's my daughter.
How long have you been married to Kim?
23 years.
Do you have any other children?
Son Jackson.
How old is Jackson?
He turns 18 tomorrow.
Okay. What year is Jackson in school?
He's a senior.
Okay. Where do you work?
Town Construction Services in Batavia, Ohio.
And what do you do for town construction?
I'm an accountant.
Okay. How long you been working there?
It's about 5.5 years now.
Okay. How about before that?
Well, I think you all heard I was with SK Construction for quite a bit of my career.
And there's a potential juror that worked at SK.
Correct.
Where do you live now?
Carlisle, Ohio.
And can you describe for us, just briefly, Carlisle, the community?
It's a small, close-knit town, Midwestern conservative, I guess.
Do you know a lot of people in Carlisle?
Most of them, until recently, it started to grow in population.
The town did?
Yeah.
How about, who do you live with?
My wife, Kim,
Okay.
daughter, and son.
Do you have any animals?
We have 2 miniature schnauzers.
Okay. How did you get those 2 dogs?
Well, we sort of inherited them. My cousin passed away in 2014 or 15, and we took them in.
Okay. Is one of the dogs more Skylar's dog?
Well, there's one that's now 15, and there's one that's about 10. The younger dog sort of gravitated to Skylar, and the older dog sort of gravitated to Kim.
Where do the dogs sleep?
Usually in bed with Kim or Skylar. They're small, and they're...
So, what are the dogs' names?
Peanut is the older one, Norman's the younger one.
And who sleeps with Skylar?
Norman,
Okay. And Peanut would sleep with Kim?
most of the time.
I want to go back in time and take you back to when Skylar was born. Where did you live?
We lived in Middletown, Ohio.
All right. Why was that a good spot for your family at the time?
Well, Kim worked in either Franklin or Dayton at the time, and I was working either in Kenwood or Middletown at the time. So it was sort of central.
Where was Skylar delivered?
Middletown Hospital, the old one.
Do you remember who delivered her?
Dr. Andrews.
When the kids were young, just babies, what type of mother was Kim?
Well, she was a doting, loving mother.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 008.
Objection, Your Honor.
Council approach, remove the photograph, please.
Scott, I'm displaying what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 008. Can you tell us what that is a picture of?
Now that's Kim and the kids. Looks like Skylar was probably 2 to 3, and Jackson was maybe less than a year at that point.
Where did you live back then?
We moved from Middletown to, it was a Springboro mailing address, but a Franklin School District area, Dearth Road, right off of 123.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to observe Kim around the kids when they were young?
Yes.
And how was she as a mother?
She was just always, don't know how else to describe it. She was just always trying to take care of them, doing the best she could.
How many years apart are Skylar and Jackson?
About 1.5 years.
Okay. When they were young children together, when Skylar was 2 and he was just an infant, how were they together? How was she to him?
She's always loved her little brother.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1. What is that? And about how old are your children there?
Well, that's a typical picture. She's 2.5, maybe 3. Jackson's less than 1, I would say.
Okay, where was that photo taken?
I believe that was at the house in the one we just discussed, Franklin Springboro area.
Okay. I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit marked as 002.
Your Honor, would you just note for the record the state's continuing objection to all of these photographs?
Noted.
What is that a picture of, Scott?
It's roughly the same time frame, same house.
Okay. Was that common for Skylar to be always touching and loving on her brother?
Absolutely.
How was your relationship as a father when Skylar was just a little kid?
She was Daddy's little girl.
I'll show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 003. Do you remember when that was taken?
Yeah, she was less than 1 at that point, I believe. This is our house when we were still in Middletown.
Okay. What's she have in her hand there?
A book,
Skylar like to read?
always.
Show you 004. Do you know approximately how old you might have been in this photograph?
Well, she was under 1, so that was 19 years ago. I was about 43.
Okay. Was it common for you to spend a lot of time with Skylar when she was young, around this age?
Yes.
Defendant's Exhibit 005. Where was that?
That was the house on Dearth Road, Springboro, Franklin.
How old was Skylar there?
She would have been a little over 2, I believe.
Okay. Where were you working at the time?
That was when I was with SK.
SK? 006. How old's Skylar here?
I think that's around the same age, maybe a little older. I got that T-shirt for when I went to a NASCAR race with some of the people I worked with. It was Powder Puff Girls, and she loved the Powder Puff Girls.
The one that's on her head?
No, the shirt.
Oh, that she's wearing.
That's her little blankie thing that she has on her head.
Okay. When Skylar was young, and I'm talking, 2, 5, she was growing up, was she into sports?
She tried.
What sorts of sports did she try when she was young?
Well, I know she played softball, but she tried soccer. She liked tennis, but never played on a team or anything.
Why, if you know, did you like softball, do you think?
Oh, partially because her mom was a really good softball player, and she just wanted to do what the other kids were doing, I believe.
I'm going to show you a picture of her with a baseball bat in her hand. This is 007. What's that a picture of?
That's her practicing in her backyard when she was about 2.
Okay. Did she play softball when she was older, high school years?
She played up until high school, and then once she got into high school, the cheer was almost year-round, so that was where she spent most of her time, was cheer.
Growing up in Carlisle, how can you tell us a little bit about your extended family and Kim's extended family and how close they lived to you all?
Well, Kim's family is actually mostly from the Carlisle area. My family's just not too far away in West Middletown, so we spent a lot of time with all of them.
Kim grew up in Carlisle?
Yes.
Go to Carlisle schools?
Yes.
What did you guys, as a family, I'm talking about your immediate family, you and Kim, Jackson, Skylar, did you have occasions where you'd always see extended family? Were there set times when you'd see them?
Well, every major holiday.
Okay. What were some of the family traditions for holidays as the kids were growing up?
Well, Easter, we'd always either go to church, eat, and have a Easter egg hunt, or sometimes we would just get together at my grandparents' or grandparents', but we always got together, and the kids were with all their cousins.
Were there kids of different ages at those events?
Yeah, from babies to 10, 12 years old at all times. The ranges were, they all grew up together.
How was Skylar with the younger kids at those holiday events?
They always gravitated toward her. She was just very loving and kept them entertained.
I'm going to show you a picture 0010. When was this taken?
Oh, that was Easter, and that's her with her little brother.
What was the Easter tradition at your family?
Well, like I said, I think in this case we went to church, then we went to her mom's for dinner, and then they had a big Easter egg hunt. And then sometimes we would go from there to my grandmother's house.
About how many kids would be around her at these extended family events?
A dozen or more.
I'm going to show you 009. When was this taken?
That was Christmas prior to that Easter. That's her with her older cousin Savannah, cousin Chase, and then her brother Jackson.
Which one's Jackson?
The goofy looking one on the end.
And at these events, what was the Christmas tradition? How many kids would she be around then?
Well, we would do different things with different sides of the family, but my grandmother, when she was still alive, everybody on that side of the family would come together. And then always with Kim's side of the family, we would go to either her mom's or her brother's, and all of them would come together. So in both cases, there would be a dozen or more kids there.
Okay. And with Skylar, I mean, we saw a picture with, was that Savannah in the picture?
Yes.
Was she close with family members?
Yes.
You mentioned cheer earlier, that Skylar didn't play softball, she got into cheering. When did she start getting into cheering?
Well, she cheered all through, like when 3rd grade, I think it started with Pee Wee.
Okay.
But then 7th and 8th grade, it became a school event, so it took up a little more time. And by high school, not only was she doing the high school cheer, she was doing some competitive cheer at the GTCO.
What did Skylar like about cheer?
Well, she was into gymnastics, tumbling, and the teams usually had a range of kids, and she just enjoyed being around other kids.
I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1515. What is it? This is a photograph, a screenshot that we got off Facebook. What is that a picture of, and about how old is Skylar?
I think that was 7th grade, so she'd have been about 12. And this is the GTCO, I can't remember, Gymnastic Training Center in Franklin. She was on a team, and then the little girl next to her was in what they called the Rainbows. She volunteered to help with the special needs team.
Why?
She liked being around those kids, and even at that age, I think she early on thought she wanted to work with kids.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 0016. What is this a picture of?
That's that same rainbow team, I think the next year at a competition.
How often would Skylar help out with rainbows?
Well, they usually practiced at least once a week during the season, and maybe an extra one when they had a competition. So if they practiced, she was there.
Do you see Skylar in this photo? I don't know.
I don't. She would have been in the back somewhere, because that's all the competitors themselves.
Okay. About how often would she help with rainbow cheer? Did you just answer that?
Yeah, once a week or more if they had a competition.
Did she have to do it? Did you or Kim push her toward it?
No, that was totally up to her. She volunteered.
About when did you first notice her problems with eating?
Well, looking back, I know it started when she was about 12, but I don't think I really noticed until she was in the 8th grade.
Okay, so how old would Skylar have been in 8th grade?
I think she turned 13, 14, in that range.
And when you say looking back, you think it was around 12. What sorts of things first kind of clued you in that she might have a problem with her eating?
Well, she started hiding food in her room. I mean, it was like it's hard to describe it. Her weight started to fluctuate, and she didn't eat normally around us, and she was overly concerned with the caloric intake.
At some point, did you and Kim get concerned enough where you got her in treatment?
We tried several different things. She was first to a dietitian, nutritionist, because we thought maybe that was her concern, and there was Children's Medical Center, several therapists. It was just nothing really seemed to help, and we just kept trying to do what we could.
And this was as early as what grade do you think she first might have started treatment?
I think it was 8th grade.
Okay. Was she having problems in 8th grade? And I'm not going to get into detail, but in addition to the eating disorder?
Yes.
Can you briefly just expound upon that, what you know?
It was a uncomfortable relationship, and there was some bullying.
Okay. Did Skylar, was she confrontational? Did she stand up for herself in that situation?
No.
So her weight, I think you just mentioned that she fluctuates. She'd go up and down
Right.
since about junior high school.
Yeah, I think that's when it started.
I'm going to show you a side-by-side photograph here. The jury's already seen it. It's marked as 0013. far out as it goes. When was the photograph on the left taken?
That was the summer before her sophomore year.
And so that would have been about what year? 14?
Sounds about right.
All right. When was the photograph on the right taken?
That was later during the school year.
So that would have been within 6 months or so?
Yes,
That selfie photograph on the right?
correct.
Do you have any idea how much weight she lost in those few months?
Oh, probably 30 pounds, if not more.
Do you personally know that, or you're just guessing?
I'm just guessing. That was not my expertise.
Okay. I'm going to show you photograph 14. It's a Skylar in a bathing suit. Do you know when this was taken?
I think this was the summer the following year.
Okay, so she's back up again in weight
Yes.
compared to the picture on the right. In junior high, did Skylar, did she continue her interest in hanging out with kids? Did she like kids in high school even?
Yeah.
Show you a picture 0017. How old is Skylar here in this photograph?
That was sophomore year basketball season, so I think she would have been about 15.
Okay, so this would have kind of coincided with the photograph, the side-by-side with her on the right, correct?
Correct.
It would have been middle of sophomore year. She's, again, down in weight a little bit. And who's the little girl with Skylar without using her last name since?
Chloe.
Okay. Sticking on her weight fluctuations, I'm going to show you a picture that I believe is junior year, but tell me if you know when this photograph was taken.
Yeah, I believe that's correct because that was her brother's birthday. He was not yet in high school, and she was getting ready for a football game.
So and they're actually, I just noticed their dogs in the photograph.
Yeah, that's Norman down there by Jackson's feet, and that's Peanut's head sticking up from the bottom of the photo.
Okay, and those are the two dogs you already talked about.
Yes.
When do you think this was? Was that a football or basketball cheer thing?
This is looks like football cheer.
So what year was she there?
I believe this is going into junior year.
Okay, so she would have been up in weight sophomore summer, down in weight sophomore year, and then back up again going into junior year.
Sounds right.
Okay. We know that this is well before pregnancy, right?
Yes.
Okay. When Skylar was at games, whether it be her games or Jackson's games or just the Carlisle, did you guys go to Carlisle sporting events?
Oh yeah.
What types of sporting events did you go to?
Well, I mean, when they were younger, she cheered, and my son played Pee Wee football, and then he played CBA baseball, and she played ponytail softball.
And your family would go to those games?
Yes.
Did you go to Friday night football games?
Yes.
I'm going to show you 0023. Is this the same little girl that we just saw?
Yes, it is.
All right. What was Skylar's relationship with? Her name's Chloe.
Chloe.
What was her relationship like throughout high school? How old's Skylar here?
That was sophomore, so she probably would have been 15.
Okay. And did she continue to see and have a relationship with Chloe? How did that come about?
So Chloe is Shane's daughter, family friend who had a son the same age as Skylar. He also had a son the same age as Jackson. So we were at sporting events together all the time. And every time we were, Chloe would run to see Skylar.
And are you aware of what sorts of things they do together at the games? This is at Skylar's brother's games, Jackson's.
Correct.
So Jackson's 2 years younger in school or 3?
Just about 2.
So he's a
Couple
senior
years.
this year.
Yes.
He's graduating 2020 and Skylar's 17.
Right. So 3 full years, but they're 2 years. You get me confused. She was born in 99. He was born in 2001. She was born in March. He was born in September.
So she wasn't cheering at his baseball games.
No. She was there, probably as bored as Skylar, so they kept each other entertained.
Okay. What sorts of things did they do together that you saw?
She usually brought coloring books and candy just to keep them happy and quiet.
Mr. Wickers, I apologize for
Yes,
interrupting.
Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're hearing right now is sort of what we refer to as general character evidence. And normally, I do not allow general character evidence for anybody other than the character of the defendant. Ms. Richardson is allowed to present evidence of her good character or a pertinent trait of her character in order to demonstrate to you that on the date in question that she acted in conformity with this good character and did not commit the crimes with which she is accused of. And you are permitted to consider the issue of good character for this purpose, not for the purpose of garnering any sympathy or that you may feel sorry for her. I'm going to allow the testimony of her father with regard to the observations of the eating disorder, also for the limited purpose of explaining why she may have acted a certain way, again, not for the purposes of garnering any sympathy. Mr. Rickers, I apologize for the interruption. You may continue.
Your Honor, would you be willing to instruct the jury that the prosecutor is also allowed to attack her character now if they so chose, about with other people?
The character of the defendant is now an issue in the case.
Thank you. I'm going to show you what's been marked as photograph 0029. When was this taken?
So this was at what we have a tradition called the pigskin preview. It's before the school year starts. This is prior to her senior year. She was a football cheerleader and Chloe was a peewee cheerleader. They all get together, and of course Chloe gravitated to Skylar.
How old was Skylar here?
She would have been 17.
What month and year?
It's August. It's generally right before school starts.
August of 2017?
Right.
Skylar's senior year, what is Pee Wee Cheer? Did Skylar help out with that?
Yeah. Well, we
What
have
is-
a peewee program from 3rd till 6th grade, and in the 7th grade it becomes a school function. So it's all just it's not a school function until the 7th grade. So before that it's peewee. They have both football and cheer.
What did Skylar do for work her senior year?
She worked at the Atrium YMCA in Middletown and what they call Child Watch.
Did you or Kim tell her she had to work at Atrium Middletown Child Watch?
We did not.
If you know, why did she work there?
She liked being with kids, and it was a side benefit that she could work out at the Y.
Did you and Kim get a text message from Skylar from work at one point?
Yes.
And what is this? Can you describe this for the jury? When you received it approximately?
We believe it's January of, it was winter of 17-18 when she was a senior. And this is her with a baby that fell asleep in her arms.
I'm going to go back to August of 2017. Okay?
Okay?
Skylar's getting ready to start her senior year of high school.
Yes.
And you mentioned, is it called the Pigskin Preview or Classic?
Pigskin preview.
Okay. This is a full body shot of Skylar. And this would be, I can't zoom out anymore, but I apologize, I'm cutting your face up here. I want a full body shot. This is Skylar in August of 2017, correct?
Correct.
And how do you know that?
Because of the event.
Okay. And this is marked as Defendant's Exhibit 0018. And what is that event? Pigskin Preview.
It's just a showcase of, every little kid that participates in any of the football, peewee or high school, gets to run out the field.
Okay. So that would have been either right before she got pregnant or right after she got pregnant, August of 2017, this photograph.
Correct.
The 2016.
Oh, 2016, sorry.
Yes.
26 before she started senior year.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. Your
thanks.
dates weren't matching.
Sorry. Right before she started senior year.
Yeah.
Okay. In high school, we talked a little bit when Skylar's younger. When she was in high school, how was her relationship with her brother?
Good. They were always together and friendly. There was no animosity between the two.
Did they do things together?
Yes.
He would have been, when Skylar was a senior, Jackson would have been
Freshman.
a freshman. I'm going to show you 0019. What's this a photograph?
I believe this is October 2016. The two of them went with their aunt and uncle and cousins to a Miami University football game.
Okay. Which aunt and uncle?
Jay and Vanessa Baldwin.
Okay. We're still senior year, okay?
Okay.
At some point, senior year, Skylar starts dating Brandon Saylor.
Yes.
And do you remember about when?
I think it was around January of her senior year.
So that would have been January 2017?
Yes.
What do you think about Brandon?
He's a good kid.
You know his mom and dad?
Yes.
How'd you get to know him?
Well, we started going to the baseball games and stuff and sitting with them because we were there together.
Okay. Good family?
Very good family.
I'm going to take you to February 2017, Skylar's senior year. I'll show you a photograph. Jury's already seen part of this. I can't turn this Elmo. But this is a photograph of a prom dress that we've seen. When was this taken?
Well, it's February 2017. That's when she picked it out.
Okay. Do you remember where that was taken?
There was some dress shop they like to go to in Columbus.
Okay. So this is the dress she ultimately wore for prom.
Correct.
And this is February of 2017, correct?
Correct.
3 months before prom.
Correct.
Okay. Who'd Skylar go up there with?
Her mom and probably Savannah and Vanessa.
In March, was there a spring break that Skylar went down to? We've already heard some testimony about it.
Yes.
And Brandon was down there, correct?
Correct.
Why was he down there?
Well, the baseball team goes down there for a spring break tournament.
And where? Are we talking what state?
It's in Florida.
Okay. And what time of year was this? Skylar's senior year in Florida.
I think it was March or whenever spring break is. So yeah, March, April time frame.
Okay. Skylar and Brandon didn't go together. They went separately with their own families, right?
Correct.
But they hung out when they're down there.
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 0026. This is Skylar in, well, can you tell us what this photograph depicts?
Well, Skylar and Brandon on the beach.
And when was this photo taken?
Would have been that spring break, March or April, whenever it was.
Of her senior year of high school.
Correct.
So this would be 2 months before she, well, a month and a half before she delivered this
Correct.
bikini picture. In May, are you aware Skylar wore the exact same prom dress that she had tried on in February to prom?
Yes.
And what's this a picture of?
That's Brandon and Skylar at our house before prom.
Okay, what date was this, if you know?
Whatever the date of prom was, May 6th,
Okay, 5th.
5th. Yeah, 5th. I'm sorry, that's right.
Do you remember the day of the week?
Would have been a Friday.
Okay. I'm going to show you a side-by-side. It's already been displayed. But can you tell us what this side-by-side depicts?
Yeah, that's a picture when she was first trying on the dress, and that's the same dress when she went to prom.
All right, and this is Defendant's Exhibit 0025 for the record. To the best of your knowledge, are those dates correct? February 15th of 17 and May 5th of 17?
Yes.
So less than 3 months apart.
Yes.
All right, I want to take you back to July 14th, first time Skylar's interrogated, okay? Tell me what happened when you got home from work that day.
It was a Friday afternoon, and I had taken a half a day, gotten home early. I pulled in the driveway. Detective Fain, another Warren County detective, and then the Katie Gee from Carlisle were at the house.
Okay. Did you know why they were there?
No idea.
Did you talk to them?
They approached me and said they needed to talk to my daughter about something she may have witnessed.
Okay. And what did you do next?
I called Skylar and told her she needed to come home.
Okay, where was she?
She was at her grandma's house with Brandon and his little sister swimming.
Okay. Did you think Skylar might be in a lot of trouble?
I didn't think at all because of the way she was, and I was told at least a few times that she wasn't in any trouble at all.
Okay. Did you ultimately take Skylar down to the Carlisle police station?
I did.
And how'd she get there?
I drove her.
What did you tell her anything on the way to the police station?
I assumed, based on what I was told, that they were going to ask her about something she may have witnessed, so I told her to tell the truth, to make sure she didn't make anything up, and to cooperate.
Did you teach Jackson and Skylar to respect the police and authority?
I mean, we always thought that that's what we should do.
When you arrived at Carlisle Police Station, you did arrive there, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit R. What's that a picture of?
The door to the police.
That's Carlisle Police Station?
Yes.
Okay. And then you walked inside. I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit C. Can you just tell us what this is a picture of?
Just inside the door.
Okay, and that's like a window that you talk through, double pane. Was anyone in it that day, or was it empty like this?
It was fairly empty.
Okay. You kept going, Defendant's Exhibit G. What is this a picture of?
That's the interrogation room.
Okay. When you first got there on July 14th, did you or Kim, was Kim there?
Not at first. She was still at work.
Okay. When did Kim ultimately arrive?
Well, I called her and she came there and on her way home from work.
Okay. And after the interrogation, you ultimately went inside that room, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit F. What perspective is that?
I believe that's the door at the side of the interrogation room.
How you'd enter it?
Yeah.
Do you remember that day waiting outside the interrogation room with your wife?
Yes, I do.
The interrogation tapes have been cut down a little bit. How long were you waiting, to the best of your recollection, outside that room?
It seemed like forever, but I think it was at least 2 hours.
Okay. Before you went in?
Correct.
When you ultimately went inside the room, and you watched it in here, and you'd seen it before that, right?
Yes.
By the way, did you know that you were being continued to be recorded when you went back in that room?
I did not.
Did Kim or Skylar?
No, we were not told.
How surprised were you when you found out that your daughter had been pregnant?
Very.
That she delivered a baby and buried her in the backyard?
We were in shock.
You said some things in the interrogation. You said, why did you lie to us? Why did you lie to us? Can you tell us what you meant by that?
Well, we didn't know she was pregnant, and we had struggled with the whole eating disorder since she was 12, 13 years old, where she wasn't telling us what was going on.
Do you know why she didn't feel comfortable enough coming to you and saying she was pregnant?
I wish I did.
At the time when you were questioning Skylar, did you know that the doctor had told her that she had 10 weeks before she would deliver?
I didn't know that.
What would you and Kim have done if Skylar had delivered a live baby and come downstairs with a live baby?
We would have taken it into the family.
Would you have been mad?
I think we would have been in shock, and we probably would have been angry, but
If she told you that she was pregnant immediately on April 26th, as soon as she found out, how do you think Kim and you would have reacted?
angry then shocked.
After that interrogation, so after you find out the information that we all saw in here, what are you thinking at that point?
We didn't know what to think, but we believed her. We didn't expect anything to come of it, and matter of fact, we were told that there wouldn't have been really anything. I think he said no significant charges is what he said.
6 days later, so, well, actually, in between that time, so July 14th was the first interrogation, correct?
Correct.
And the 20th was the second.
Yes.
Did you have Lieutenant Fain's cell phone?
He gave me a card at that first interview with his cell phone on it.
And at some point in between those two dates, did you and Skylar and your family start making arrangements to try to do a more formal burial and memorial service for Annabelle?
We did.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as, has not been marked. I'm going to mark it as Defendant's Exhibit JJJ. J, 4 J's. While they're looking at that exhibit,
Do you have any other exhibits?
not that I know. What information did you relay to Lieutenant Fain about Skylar's desire to have Annabelle back and have a proper memorial and burial?
Well, I believe we'd been told that we could expect to get the remains back, so I asked him if that was still the case and when we might be able to do that so we could make arrangements.
Okay. Did you ultimately get them back?
No.
Your Honor, can we approach on this?
Okay. All right, Mr. Rickers, you may continue.
Thanks, Judge. July 20th. Can you tell us how you ultimately why'd you bring Skylar back to Carlisle Police Station?
Detective Fain called me, said that he had just a few more questions and could we bring her down to the station.
Okay. Why didn't you get her a lawyer?
I was told I didn't need one.
Did you ever think your daughter would be facing a serious charge?
I did not.
Did you tell Skylar anything on the way to the police station that day?
Same thing, just tell the truth.
Was Skylar trusting of authority figures like teachers and principals and police officers?
She was. She is.
Did you know at the time, back on July 20th, that police were allowed to lie to you or your daughter?
I did not know that. I wouldn't have believed it if you told me back then.
Did you ultimately know what temperature? I'm going to talk to you about May 7th, between 1 and 3 in the morning. Do you know what temperature it was on May 7th?
I can't recall that.
Did we? May I approach, Your Honor? This is something that's been stipulated to, and if you flip on the second or third page. Scott, both the prosecutor and defense agreed to this exhibit. It's a National Weather Service report. Can you tell us between 1 and 3 in the morning the temperature outside?
It looks like it's between 36 and 41, or 35 and 41 degrees.
And there are wet bulb temperatures, everything like that on there, right?
Correct.
This has been marked as Defense Exhibit Z, for the record. The prosecutor talked to some witnesses about, a lot of witnesses about the bed being moved around. You recall that?
Yes.
I'll show you a photograph. It's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit Triple Q. What's that a picture of?
That's Skylar's bedroom.
All right. What is this a picture of? This is Defendant's Exhibit L.
That's also her bedroom
And when was that?
after they searched it.
Defendant's Exhibit M. What's this a picture of?
Still her bedroom after they searched it.
Defendant's Exhibit N. What's this a picture of?
Same answer.
Defendant's Exhibit O. Do you know what that is a picture of?
Still her bedroom after the search.
How many times did they search?
Well, they were inside the house just that one time for a search.
Did they ultimately do 3 searches around your property?
Correct.
Was it common for Kim or Skylar or you to change the decor in your home?
Kim and Skylar. Not me. I got to move it. I didn't really want to do that.
Why, around the time, by the way, where's Skylar's bed now? Is it on the same bedroom wall?
It's just flipped almost opposite of where it was in that picture now.
Why at the time did your family decide to move things around in the house?
Well, what that had been through, they just wanted to change things up. We'd also moved some furniture downstairs as well as the bed.
Okay. We've seen pictures of lighter fluid in here. Why do you have lighter fluid at your house?
Well, we occasionally have bonfires. I built a small fire pit outside the house off the deck.
Have you ever seen Skylar light the fire?
Never.
Why'd she have a light in her room?
Candles.
Does Kim burn 2 candles?
Yes.
We saw a photograph that the state presented of, and you've been in the court the whole time, correct?
Correct.
And we saw a photograph of bleach bottles. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Empty bleach bottles. By the way, this was 2.5 months after May 7th, right?
Correct.
And there were margarita mix bottles in that bin. You remember that?
Yes.
Was that a recycling bin? What was that bin?
It's just a storage bin where I kept empty containers. I used them for target practice.
What did you do with them specifically, and where did you take them?
Well, we fill them full of water, and my father has property in Butler County off Wayne Madison Road where it's safe to shoot.
So that bin in the photograph, it was gray.
Yes.
Had a little bit of rust on it.
Yes.
You know, how long do you think that piled up, the bleach and the margarita mix?
Months.
What would happen in your house if there was a strange noise with the dogs or with you in the middle of the night?
Well, the dog, Norman, the younger one, has very good hearing, and he would go berserk.
And in fact, that was one of the things that you remember on the interrogation where you said there's no way there's a live birth
Yes.
because the dog would have gone nuts.
Yes.
Is Norman the one that sleeps with Skylar?
Yes.
In the home, that upstairs bathroom, does that share a wall with another room in the house?
Jackson's bedroom.
And that would be on the north side of the bathroom?
Yes.
What about Skylar's room? Does that share a wall with Jackson's bedroom?
Yes.
The hallway in between Skylar's bedroom and bathroom, does that share a wall with Jackson's bedroom?
Yes.
The jury's going to see here in a little bit of virtual tour of the home where they can walk through it online. You have a open floor plan in your home?
Yeah.
Why hasn't Kim been in the courtroom since the start of the trial?
She was subpoenaed by the prosecution, and therefore she's not allowed to be in the courtroom. But she's been here every day.
Were you aware that she was cheering Skylar on to lose weight?
I was not.
You aware that she was doing it when Skylar was a sophomore and Skylar sent her selfies in the mirror when she was a sophomore in high school?
I was not.
What's the biggest regret in your life, Scott?
Not having an attorney for the second interrogation.
What, if you could tell the jury one thing about Skylar before you get off the stand, what would it be?
She would never hurt another living being, let alone a baby.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Knippen, you may inquire.
Good morning, sir. It was clear from watching the interrogation tapes that you love your daughter very much, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And if she would have come to you on April 26th after her appointment with Dr. Andrew and told you that she was pregnant, I believe you testified with Mr. Rickers that you would have been shocked. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And you would have been a little angry,
Yes.
but you would have dealt with it, right?
Correct.
And you would have made sure that if she was told to go back in for an ultrasound the next day, you and your wife would have made sure that she made that ultrasound appointment, right?
We would have done whatever we needed to do.
And if she was told to schedule another appointment within the next week to start prenatal care, you guys would have made sure that she followed through with that as well, right?
Yes.
And during that time period after you found out that she was pregnant, you would have made sure that appropriate steps were taken to prepare.
I'm going to object to the prenatal care
Comment has nothing to do with the charges at hand.
Overruled.
And after that time period, if she would have came to you and told you that she was pregnant, you would have made sure that the appropriate steps were taken to make sure that you guys were all prepared, that you had the necessary supplies in the house. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
That baby wouldn't have wanted for anything. You would have made sure that all of that was provided for had she come and told you, in fact, that she was pregnant. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And let's go to the middle of the night on May 7th when she was going into labor. If she'd have came down to you, even if she hadn't told you that she was pregnant up until that point, if she'd have come and woken you and Kim up and told you that she was pregnant and that she needed help, you guys would have given it to her, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You would have driven her to the hospital if necessary.
Yes.
You would have called an ambulance.
Yes.
You'd have done whatever you could to make sure that your daughter and her daughter were safe. Is that fair?
Yes.
And if that child came out in distress, if there appeared to be issues with the child, you would have done whatever you could to make sure that that child was going to be okay. Is that right?
Yes.
But that night, in the middle of the night, you never heard a sound. Is that right?
That's correct.
And Jackson never heard a sound. Is that right?
As far as I know.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. You can step down. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to take our morning break a little bit early today. We have a little bit of scheduling issues that we are working around this morning that is not really of your concern. So I think we're going to take a little bit longer of a break, maybe go until 10:30. So let's plan on being back here around that time, ready to go. Remember the things that I have previously told you, even though we're taking a little bit of a longer break. Do not begin discussing the case amongst yourselves or think about how the case should be decided. Mr. Mullins, you can take the jury out.
And with that break, we will break in the case until tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have OBGYN expert Dr. John White for the duration. And coming up the rest of the week, we'll have testimonies from Alan Hirsch, Leanna Lyons, Chris Curry, Ashley Brown, and psychologist Stuart Bassman. And that'll be on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll have Tracy Relish, Jackson Richardson, Skylar's brother, Annie Campbell, and forensic pathologists Mark Levon and Joe Danzer. And we're going to wrap it up on Friday with closing arguments and the verdict in the case. So keep it right here as we wrap up Ohio versus Richardson, the first ever Bethea's Bite Reloaded throwback. Until then, I'm Ernest Bethea, the Last Outlaw. Thank you so much for joining me. Follow me all over your social media, all over your Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and email. And I will see you tomorrow for the next installment. Until then, you all know what to do. Bite this. Hey guys, this is The Last Outlaw saying thank you to all of you who watched this video and subscribe to Bethea's Bite Reloaded, your drama-free true crime destination. I couldn't dream of doing this without you, so thank you. Did you enjoy this presentation? Are you looking to get more information on everything presented here? Are you looking to give more feedback on this presentation? Here's what you can do. Like this video. The more eyes on this video, the more this information is spread to others, which brings us a step closer to justice served. Share this video to your social media. Just like dropping a like, the more eyes on this video, the closer we get to justice served. Drop me a comment, whether it's on the topic or the presentation. I am open to all comments, whether it's a theory, a speculation, or a suggestion. I will respond to all. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button to show your support of this little true crime engine powered by you. Set the notification bell to all for future videos. Be sure to follow Bethea's Bite Reloaded all over social media. At Bethea's Bite Reloaded True Crime on Facebook. At EKB316 on X, formerly known as Twitter. At Bethea's Bite Reloaded on YouTube. At EKB316 on Instagram. At King of Hearts 316 2021 on TikTok. You can drop me an email as well. The address is kingofhearts316_09@outlook.com. This is your home for news without the drama, where your opinions matter, for lively debates, where your voice is heard, and above all else, justice served. This is Bethea's Bite, and it's reloaded.